I didn't get as much detail as I wanted on this side of this one. You might wonder what it is. Can anyone tell? This is an oil filter. That's a fuel pump, and that's an alternator. You can see the belt on it. Air horns for the dual side draft carburetors, which have the balancing tube in between them. There's the distributor cap. It's a 4-cylinder, so you see there is the center and the 4 spots for the plug wires, and you can see how small they are because of the pencil lead again. But this one, wanted to get a little original here, so I actually did carve the Datsun name on the valve cover. And the Datsun name, I can do this without knocking it over like I've been doing. I have to move it back. There we go. Okay, I'll go from the 5-inch mark there. So we got just over ½ an inch from where it starts to where it ends. The entire engine is 7/8 of an inch long. Okay, hot rodders. Let's see if I can get this one in. See the bird catcher on it. You can tell by the headers, it's a small block Chevy, and the valve covers are done like an aluminum one would have. You can see the ribs on the blower. Single carburetor though. One thing I forgot to do when I did this was to put a magneto or a distributor on the back here. But you can see the carburetor there. And of course the blower belt, the drive pulley, the crankshaft pulley, and the tensioner. So there you go. Very small block Chevy. And if you look from the top, and you look from here over to here, you can see that the left cylinder bank is actually a little bit forward like it would be on a small block Chevy. And you can also see runners in the intake manifold. So we go with the sizing again to show you. 3/4 of an inch. The whole engine itself is about an inch. And I have to zoom out a little bit. Just enough to get the ruler in place, and you can see that it's approximately 3/4 of an inch high. How about a rat rod? You can see the reinforcing. You can see the reinforcing on the side of the blower. You can see it's a dual carb. And you can see also that the exhaust headers are just blowing straight out. this would be kind of like an altered drag race car. And a little bit hard to see, but the scoop actually does have a very small hole in it. And you look, and the grill does have the bars on it. It's very hard to see with the light that I've got, but so there's a rat rod. I think it's safe to say everyone will know what this kind of car is. Just a little bit, and it's about 1.25 inches long. It does have the little trim piece going down, and also on the hood. And this was the kind of stuff, you can see it's a little bit grainy. It would have been too difficult to put headlights in it without possibly running the risk of breaking a chunk off. As I had some problem in the back here, you can see a little bit, it cut back a little bit more than I wanted to. This one was the stuff that just doesn't cut well. How about an old car, like something like a Model A or something, generic basically, inside a tunnel. And this was carved entirely inside this golf ball. I cut the holes initially using a Forstner bit for woodworking, just enough to break through the surface, and then I flattened the edges out just to make it look a little bit different. But this one was carved entirely inside, so not quite as much detail on the sides of the car. It's about 3/8 of an inch wide, and it'd be pretty hard to measure how long it is. Okay, this one I goofed up on because it kept breaking off. It's another one that was grainy, and you can see the spots in it from the different types of rubber. So this is was supposed to be a Plymouth Superbird, and you can see I did put the vents on top of the fenders. And remember, this was all done on one piece, but pieces kept breaking off, so the trunk ended up too long, and I should have shortened it up a little bit. But it does have the tail lights on it. And like I say, some balls are easier to carve than others. I know it's shorter than they really are, but you can tell what it is. It's got the wing on the front, the wing on the back. The wing could have been higher, but it's got the headers on it, and the blower and the bird catcher. And you can see I did carve inside, and yes, there is a way through the roll cage, right through. If you look, it's inside the cockpit, and yes, it goes through the roll cage. So there we have it. I was debating whether to paint these. I never have decided. Now this one doesn't have any real details on the sides, but this one is another one I cut the hole in the ball with a Forstner bit, and using the little blades that I have that had like hooks on the ends, I was able to clean it out pretty good. And you can see that when I pass my hand in behind, the yellow back here, it's lighter and darker. That's because you're basically getting the light through the back of the golf ball. So you can see I didn't get all the stuff off the back, but there's a car that's in a golf ball garage. So it's about half an inch wide, and it's hard to see, but you can see the running boards in there. Okay, this one didn't turn out as good as I wanted, because it was another one of those balls that tended to chip as I was cutting. This is supposed to be my 1975 GMC Jimmy, and this kind of stuff kept chipping off. You can see where it was chipping off a side undermining the roof here. So what I ended up doing, I've got the brush guard on the front, which I had, but if you look, it's very narrow. It's because as I was doing it, pieces kept chipping off, so I just kept going narrower and narrower. So it's out of proportion. It's almost cartoon-like, but that's not really a big deal. And when you're dealing with a carving, there we go, 3/4 of an inch front to back. I'm gonna let you go. Catch you later. Have a good one.